Hey, good morning, good evening, viewers from around the world. I'm Bolakom again. What you have just witnessed in the last 24 hours is the tip of iceberg of many things to come if you've been following events in South Sudan in general. I call it tip of iceberg in politics because this is a classic political move when, if you're a president and you're about to leave the presidency, you tend always to look into the members of your family members, give them powers, in say that whoever the next president will be will not prosecute your family members, and God forbid to also avoid all the graveyard of secret to leak to the public. What you have also witnessed is that it has been done by many presidents, not Kiir himself alone. Joe Biden here in the United States did it recently when he realized that his son was going to get caught up in the scandal of Ukraine and Russia. So he pardoned his son to make sure that the next president of the United States coming up will not be able to prosecute his son. Trump also himself did it when he left the office, and some of his family members were caught up in some scandal, and he was able to pardon them. So these are just classic political move when you realize that your days of business or politics are coming to an end. You'll always do maneuver. The whole idea of 41 ambassadors being appointed is not a surprise to me. Maybe to you it is a surprise. South Sudan is a country convoluted with diplomacy and military power. If you look at it, we have about 900 generals. Some generals, we call them briefcase generals, and some generals have actually earned their rank militarily. Some of them probably through uncles, some boyfriends, some girlfriends. So it's obvious that if you see many ambassadors such as what you're now looking at in South Sudan, why in God's name would you be surprised? Because this is how classically we do things. But obviously, like I said earlier, this is just a classic maneuver in politics. When you're about to leave political office, you realize that you're in deep trouble with public. So what you do, you will always divert attention from the public by appointing members of your family. It was not a coincidence his two sons took that long to be appointed. It was not a coincidence some girlfriends were appointed. It was not a coincidence some in-laws were appointed. All of this are just classic understanding that in the next move, should he not be a president, this would be his basis of support to protect all of his policies, to protect all of his graveyard secrets in government. So maybe to you who is new in politics, you'll be the one to question the events that are happening in Juba. But to those of us who breathe life and have worked in government, these are just classic maneuvers to avoid persecution and avoid name calling, and to make sure that you have a shell when you are gone. Your family members will be the one to take care of you. Now, as I made my video a couple of days ago following the event in Juba and the accelerations of Bolamel upcoming caretaker government, I've mentioned very clear to you that if you've been watching democratic transitions around the world, whether in China, whether in the United States or elsewhere around the globe, any military that is handed over to someone else, or any government that is handed over to someone else, it is going to be very, very, very hard for that person to relinquish power, because he will always use an excuse. I was not elected by you. I was handpicked by somebody else. And this is why it is always good in such a situation for the independent president or any head of state should relinquish power to the party, and the party will arrange election. Once you're elected president, now you have legitimacy. You will have international community wanting to work with you. But if you hand it over a government, then it is just a continuation of another government, more than just a new government. I know Bolomel very well, more than few of you ever do. I've worked with him recently when I was in South Sudan embassy. I had friends connected to him. He is someone that pretty much was not prepared for this kind of a story. This was not what he know how to do best. The guy is a businessman, and he's much better in his business decision deal than running a government. Running a government required a whole different dynamic situation. It required understanding of how government work itself. It required also understanding of how do you, as an individual, relate to the public. It required a different norm or principles of language conversation. So, unfortunate, him being appointed, he see everybody around him as a threat. He see the oligarch as a threat. He see the SPLM, whom he now represents as a party, as a threat. He see all these people who are senior than him and all these people who are more qualified than him as threat. So what do you get when someone's so scared? You get a really time-bombing government form of the government of Bolomel will be met with intimidation, torturing, killing opposition at whatever the cost, making sure that nobody else is the god of South Sudan more than Bolomel himself. So all of this, I'm saying, signs of things to come. And I'm not here vilifying Bolomel. He's a great son of South Sudan, great son of Mudinga Will. He's qualified to contest in a presidential election, and if people of South Sudan elected him president, then who is Bolakum to say you cannot? What I'm disappointed at is the idea of hand-picked individual. The SPLM, when it was formed, it was not a private deal behind the scene. It was a national movement that brought all of us into conversation about the endeavor of the future that we now live in. Anything short than that, it is not really a thing that we take lightly as the people of South Sudan. Like I said again, the people of South Sudan have every right to dispute correctly, dispute the fact that this is not how the country we all fought for, we needed. Now, the appointment of all these ambassadors actually speak to you about what I just explained earlier, that the president is about to leave, and he realized that in his absence, some of his local friends will be prosecuted by whoever. If this government was taken over by Riek Machar or any other South Sudanese, I can guarantee you there will be investigation to all the money that were taken unlawful. There would be investigation to all the state that are being held, to all the deal that the country has been sold for privately without anybody's knowledge. So armed with such knowledge, Salva Kiir is. He knows very well that anything that will touch him while he is going to an unknown destination for medical purpose and absent of leave in the country, what's the best way? The best way is get as much as your people within the system as quickly as you can. In this middle of chaos, Riek Machar is arrested, the country is in instability, the international community is caught chaos in South Sudan. There's nothing going on. In all this such maneuver, in such chaos, this is the best time you insert all of your family members, your friends, whoever need to be ambassador, whoever need to be president, whoever need to be what, bring all of them in. Bring all of your in-laws, your girlfriend, your side chick, whatever work, just bring them on. That way when you leave tomorrow, there will be a degree in according to the presidency bestowed on me in South Sudan politic transition that give this legitimate right. So now, you and I, the public, will no longer have any voice to say, whoever that person is not a legitimate ambassador, or whoever that person is not a legitimate president. So we will be caught up because the structure of South Sudan judicial system, it was based on one-man idea, a philosophy based on decree, a philosophy based on one man consolidating all the powers. He's the law enforcement of the country. He's the national security of the country. He's the appointee of every human being working in the country, governors, mayors, cook, whatever. In according to the degree bestowed on me from South Sudan, chapter blah, 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 I decree this and I decree that. The last time I heard the word decree, it was during the era of medieval time, when king and queen would decree anything, and has the queen said or has the king said, so it goes. But this is not a kingdom. This is a revolution that now been turned into a family business, that been turned into a one-man show. So if you are out there watching me, this is just a continuation of a conversation that I brought last week about Bolomel, and not surprised, knowing the fact that Chief Justice has been relieved, and I knew that was coming. Not only Chief Justice will be the only person to go, the whole entire parliament is going to go. Not only the whole entire parliament is going to go, the whole government under Kiir will be dismantled to accommodate Bolomel new ideas. Not only that, the whole structure of the vice presidencies will be dismantled, because all of this, if left unchanged, they will continue to bring more political chaos to the new administration that is coming up. So, call me crazy, that's probably my nickname, but I can guarantee you that we will be watching both globally, internationally, and locally on the event that are shaping our future. We, the very people of South Sudan. And unfortunate, people like me, when we talk, we are seen as instigators. And I'm sure my people from Madinga will say, why would you hate Bolomel? Why would you hate him? I don't hate him. He's a great man. He's a son of great Madinga Will. I don't hate him. I don't hate nobody. So what I'm saying is that no matter how Bolomel is going to present himself, he's still going to be unlawful president, because there's no legitimacy that bring about his leadership. Full stop. There will be no international leader around the world who will accept doing business with him, because let's face it, what is a president? A president is a symbol of a country. And if the people of that country are not satisfied, then you rest assured the international community will not waste the investment in a time-taking bomb situation. Countries like United States, Great Britain, Australia, Canada, Norway, Denmark, all these global powers, Russia, they will have hard time believing in anything handpicked because, number one, the order of the world does not gravitate around dictatorship anymore. The order of the world gravitates around democracy. And if we preach democracy like we have always preached it, then what's wrong giving democracy a chance? What is Salva Kiir scared of? Because he knows he had not governed the country very well, and he knows that if he goes for election today, the people of his own home, Awanichan, will reject him first, let alone the entire South Sudan. He knows very well that he's not popular. He's a lame duck president. So by him associating himself with Uganda and Kenya, he's trying to legitimize himself as the president, and he has every right to call himself president. But once your term of governing has come to an end, you relinquish power to the party. So the best he did, what did he do? He dismantled the party, the very party that brought his leadership. He dismantled it and created his own party. The very people that helped him excels in the leadership were the one that sidelined. People like Wani Igad, Awan Akut, Kwal Manyang, and the list goes on. We're all dumped on the trash as if they never exist. What are the new supporters of Salva Kiir Mayardit? Those of Tutkel, Tutgalwak, and the list goes on. So all I can tell you is that if you are from Baret Ghazal, or if you are from a will in specific, I'm not here vilifying anybody's name. I'm not here questioning anybody's ability to be a South Sudanese president. All I'm saying is that there has to be a legitimate way of doing things rather than family-owned business concept. We have all sacrificed so much to this country we call South Sudan. It was not a one-man idea to be a nation. It was millions of hours sacrifices. And it is a disgrace to our men in uniform to be made as laughing joke globally, while Ugandan are the one running the country, national security, and the list goes on. And it is also a disgrace to abandon all these heroes that have sacrificed so much, the Geralds. They sacrificed so much to this country. The way they are treated badly. Treated as if they're just a bunch of trash, like they never exist completely. So I will end here. I look forward to hearing some feedback from you. I disagree in some areas and I agree in some areas, and I look forward for healthy debate with many of you around the globe. Once again, this is Bulakum, and you have a wonderful night in Australia, in Canada, and in UK, here in Washington, D.C., and elsewhere around the world. Thank you so much, and may God bless you, and may God bless South Sudan.